Good evening, everybody. Welcome to General Assembly, the last GA of the year. I know, you're all gonna miss me. I know, but I'll be back next year. So the phrase of the day is, I'll miss everybody, okay? I mean that, all right? It's the phrase. Yeah, Neil, start attendance.
All right, Representative Bonsall. Representative Carey. Representative Cummins. Representative Ivankovich. Representative Haas. Representative Claire Hammond. Representative Hernandez.
President voting.
Representative Kawashima. Representative McCabe. Representative Mulholland. Representative Nguyen.
President voting.
Representative Musical.
President voting.
Representative Baisley. Representative Cross.
President voting.
Representative Downey.
President voting.
Representative Caroline Hammond.
President voting.
Representative Lupton.
President voting.
Representative Karras.
President voting.
Representative Morgan. Representative Pulaski.
President voting.
Representative Wilkins.
President voting.
Representative Villa. Representative Agarwal.
President voting.
Representative Atashoglu.
President voting.
Representative Huang. Representative Notful. Representative Patel.
President voting.
Representative Shah.
President voting.
Representative Thompson.
President voting.
Representative Zhang. Representative Diwajandra.
President voting.
Representative Chen. Representative Moore. Representative Weber.
President voting.
Representative Lutz.
President voting.
Representative Sanford. Representative Tyken.
Proxy.
Parliamentarian Gardner.
Here.
Speaker Pinder.
President.
Treasurer Fike.
President.
Vice President Douglas.
Present and voting.
Vice President Hassan Ali.
President voting.
Vice President Hofert.
President voting.
Vice President Pedrick.
President voting.
Vice President Zabinski.
President voting.
President Nikolic.
President voting.
Representative Vick. Representative Mishra. Representative Wilkins. Representative Wang.
Here.
Representative Smith.
President.
Representative McCarthy.
President.
Representative Armstrong. Did I miss anyone?
And then you guys in attendance. New reps, you don't have to introduce yourself.
My name is Nicole Arick, and I'm filling in for Laura's Icon.
All right, let's stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll get started with committee reports for the last time. President Nikolic.
We're having a couple technical difficulties with our projector. I will be working on that throughout GA until we get it working again, because we do need it. But as you all know, this is the last GA, and we have a very important event coming up this Thursday evening. Does anyone know what that is? Inauguration, right. I can't tell you how many times I've spelled that word in the past couple days and misspelled it every time. But anyway, inauguration is this Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. in Havorka Atrium. And we'll be starting that at 6 with dinner and some opening remarks. And then after that, we'll get final board reports from all of the vice presidents and the swearing in of the new officers and President-elect Pinder's inaugural address. So, oh, there goes the screen. There it went. Okay. I'm going to try this again. Anyway, this is the last GA, and I did want to thank all of you for this year. It's been, as you know, I've been here for 4 years in USG, and it's certainly strange, this being my last GA. I haven't really realized that yet, and I'm pretty certain that I'll be walking to Adelbert Hall next Tuesday at 7 by accident. But I just wanted to thank all of you for this year and all the hard work you've put into to USG this year, and really making sure that students do come first at this university. And thank you very much. You'll certainly hear some more from me at inauguration. But if you guys ever do want to talk about any USG whatsoever, I got the past 4 years in my head, but. I'll miss you guys. I'll miss all of you guys. I think that's the phrase. But seriously, I will miss all of you guys, and I'll miss being here and working with you, regardless of, where I'm at next year. So, thanks, and see you on Thursday.
Are you going to open the pool?
I'm open to points. Yeah, did that gonna copy over? Thanks, Neil. You bailing on me?
I'm not bailing.
Yeah, I sent it out in an email last week. I can send it out again, but was it in the electronic version? Do you know?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. Well, I will send it out as soon as I sit down again. It's just the RSVP link. If you could please RSVP by midnight tonight, just so we have a solid number. Well, that's good. Just so we have a solid number of how many meals to have and how many vegetarian options. We will be having a full meal. It'll be excellent, I assure you. And if you guys know, you know that I like food and I like to cook, and things don't get past me as far as standards go and things like this. So it'll be good. Any other points? Okay. Thank you.
Vice President Hassanali. Don't cry.
I'll try. So yeah, this is my last committee report. It's weird. First, I do still have business to do, because technically we still do stuff till May 1st. So, just so you guys are all aware, there will be a parking advisory committee meeting next week, as well as a customer satisfaction meeting next week as well. So Neil had his executive discretion in not including the list of our committee successes, because apparently it was way too long to fit into the agenda.
That's good.
So I just kind of want to go through some of these things just so you guys are aware of what we've really done as a committee. We got greenies to go to the Board of Elections. We canvassed the residence halls. We put traction strips on the elephant stairs, got temporary parking passes, a new grab-it option, lighting tours. We formed the Student Sustainability Council. We implemented recycling in all Greek houses. We began the housing selection process review. We even got a paper recycling bin in the USG office. We got more picnic benches, more bike racks. We met with a bunch of different area offices to get more information on how the university actually operates, from financial aid to dining. We selected student life improvement grant recipients. We got a new multi-purpose room, and we are continuing to do a lot of great things. And last but not least, we began and created the BOAT, the first student resource guide by students for students. So we've gone through and we've done a lot of great things. And it's a shame that, I feel like I'm just hitting my stride and I have to leave you guys so soon. So on top of that, I'm going to pass this around if you guys are curious to see everything that our committee has done. But yeah, thank you. And it's been one hell of a year. I'm open to points. Okay.
I didn't call on you yet, Vice President Petrick.
Might have been someone else. As I can tell Speaker Pender that the waterworks are all saved for tomorrow. I will try to keep back the tears. Someone always cries. It's always really awkward, and can keep track of that. We have the correct budget bill today and the match funding bill. How many of you actually looked at the Excel sheet that was sent around 2 weeks ago? Keith, you already know what's in there. Anyone on the Finance Committee, raise your hand. I know you already looked at it. This is my last bill. We're leaving next year's Finance Committee with it. It's a really big, it's both a privilege and it's kind of scary to have this thing go on after you. You're leaving it for them, but like Ali said, it's been a great year, and I love my committee. I love GA. I love USG. Sometimes I even love Case Western. I will save the rest of this for Tuesday because I'm blabbing, but open to points. Thursday, whatever. Open to points. Thanks, guys.
Vice President Zabinski.
Okay, so I put a few things in my board report that I just thought were pleasant to think about and reflect on for the year. And I certainly want to thank all of you who are downstairs for the Teaching Excellence Awards. I thought it was decently attended by our faculty. And as I put in the board report, it's always such a great thing to be able to thank them for all the work that they do for us, every day. Just two other notes. We'll be deciding on a new assistant dean finally in undergraduate studies on Thursday, so that'll be exciting to have another person in that office. And then also came out almost in passing as I was talking to Provost Baselak today with future Vice President of Academic Affairs, Steve Cummins. And so apparently there's going to be a Vice Provost of International Experiences. So hopefully that'll get some exciting things for our study abroad and all those international experiences to come. It's certainly been an honor and a privilege to serve in GA, and I appreciate all the work that everybody has put in. So I'm open to points. All right, thanks.
Thank you. Vice President Douglas.
I decided that for my last board report, I would drop business casual and dress normally for all of you. So, well, I don't even know what to say. It speaks for itself. Only a few pieces of business. Relay for Life was great. I'm sorry, I don't have a total for our team. I don't know exactly how much we raised at the grilled cheese, or selling grilled cheeses. Does anyone know offhand? Do you know? $118. Okay. Cool. So we were right around 500, I think, for our team. So. Great. But it was great. I had a blast. I think everyone else that was there had a blast. If I could just share a quick favorite memory. When I came, I did sleep for about an hour and a half. And when I came back out at, I think it was 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I passed the USG tent, Karen was passed out in a chair, completely cocooned over in a sleeping bag. There was somebody else in another chair with like at least 6 blankets on them. I still don't know who that was. And then Keith Lupton was passed out on the ground with no blankets in a t-shirt. I think the quote was, "That is the coldest I've ever been in my life," when I woke up from that. So it was a great time. I hope some of you get involved next year. And then all we have left is Springfest. I will be sending around a sign-up sheet. We need people at 11 a.m. to help set up, and then our shifts up to 5 o'clock, and 5 o'clock only goes till 5:30, and then you'll just have to tear down some of our things. We do have to be there from noon until 5:30. If we don't, we get fined, and I'm told they won't give me my case ID back. But we're doing a t-shirt swap, so we only have around 200 t-shirts to actually swap out. We'll have flyers up for those this week. And then after that, we're going to convert to a lemonade stand, old school front yard style. I'm going to make a great sign. And what we're hoping that'll be is kind of a meet and greet for a lot of the new representatives. So even if you don't sign up to staff the booth, I hope that a lot of you will show up. So I'm kind of rambling. It's been great. My short year here, if you blinked, you might have missed it. But I'm happy that I was able to address all of you and that I am for the final time tonight. So I'm open to points. Oh, hey. The shirts are like football style shirts instead of baseball, so they're like t-shirts with like the stripes on the sleeves, and it says like CWRU across the front and 41, the number. If anyone can guess the significance of that, good job. And it looks kind of like a weathered like football jersey. They're pretty cool looking, so they'll be in on Friday. Anything else? Thanks, guys.
Polos. Vice President Hofert.
I will save my goodbye remarks for Thursday. I do just want to say that this was an incredible opportunity for me this year to come back from being abroad and take over as a vice president for information technology, and I learned a lot along the way. I want to thank everyone who came out to the IT Open Forum last week. Everything that we discussed was put in a recommendation to the administration, and it's going before its PAC on Thursday. Included in that recommendation are the creation of a status line. The status line would be where you call in and it'll say, all services are currently operating normally, or the services on Southside are experiencing internet outage, whatever. And then from there, if you're experiencing a problem and the service isn't reported, it will connect you to the ITS helpline, where then you can report the problem. We're also going to be creating posters that can go up in Fribley and Wade, maybe Twing, a couple other locations that would give status updates. For example, if the entire campus were to lose internet or something, then these posters could go up and let students know. Over the summer, Chris will be continuing to work on the new printers for Print to Hear, and we're also going to continue to look into the MATLAB licensing. Tonight on the agenda is Mike's finance, and on that is OrgSync, which I hope to be one of my greatest accomplishments here. I really hope that you guys have had the opportunity to talk it over with the different VPs, and that you appreciate all the hard work that my committee and the exec board has put into finding a system that can improve the way we communicate with the student body. I am open to points.
Okay, I have two things. First of all, can you elaborate on the MATLAB licensing? What's being looked into?
Sure. First, we did receive a lot of reports that students aren't able to connect to MATLAB, which I'm sure you're aware of. So what we did was we went and we talked to figure out, first of all, how we could get more, and second, if it would even be feasible to get more. From what we understand, it's the School of Engineering and IT the software center that buy them. So it's not as simple as finding the funds, it's finding the funds from several places. So once they figure out where to get the money from, I'm sure we can be purchasing more licenses.
Okay, and the second thing is, is the speaker aware of how good of a job the IT committee has done this year in comparison to past years, and that the speaker's doing a great job?
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move into caucus reports. Are there any caucus reports? Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Sorry. Treasurer Fike. Thank you.
Okay, since it's before you on the screen this evening, everyone, I won't read it aloud, but I will ask if there are any specific questions that you are dying to know from the Treasury this past year. No? Okay. I'd just like to say thank you for everyone. Excuse me. VP Petrick.
Is the speaker aware, I know he is, that the internal USG figure and executive spending figure only do not include a variety of journal funds, which would bring the total disbursements process is actually a good deal higher, and the total disbursements process is a paper figure for paper and receipt exchanges done by the treasurer.
Yes, he is. Wink, wink. These are all preliminary numbers at this point in the semester. I would like to point out to everyone that the top number, the amount of money that's been claimed so far, is an 82% target rate. That means that's how much of the actual allocation has been claimed, and that's the highest, as far as I know, that it's ever been at this point in the semester. So just to make you all aware of that. Okay?
Quick question. How much internal USG, like what was our budget? Like how much could we spend?
If you include the student life improvement plan in there, it's about $40,000. And speaking of which, well, the money for chairs, as you know, has already been journal. The foot letters today actually got the okay to purchase the sound equipment, the sound cover that they've been approved for. So that will go through. But again, a wide variety of various journals and key documents don't end up on the internal USG or executive spending number.
Yeah, sorry, Keith. That was a question for him. It's just this is all the stuff that's gone through me. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm a little confused. You have a lot of journals. Are you reading a lot of things or what?
Yes, I am. That's the whole reason I'm at this university. Yes. Journal entries are just the accounting procedure we use because about, I won't say half, but about half of the responsibilities are taken care of by me. And that's mostly the student allocation forms, the student allocation disbursements. I deal with that. Suzanne deals with a lot of other things directly, and then we collaborate back and forth to make sure that everything adds up. And the journal, which if you are terribly interested, you can come in and I can show it to you. Those are the final sheets in which all of my data entry and all of her data entry end up together to give you the total spending that happens from this organization. So, does that answer your question? Okay. All right, as a final note, we are terribly in debt, and Speaker Pinder has applied for a $1.2 million bailout for next year. Thank you.
I'll update the status next year. So we'll go into caucus reports now. Are there any final caucus reports? Representative Prilowski.
The engineering caucus met, and we decided that on the last day of classes, we're going to be passing out freeze pops on the quad. So if you're an engineering student, you can come over and meet your new USG engineering reps, say goodbye to your old reps, and enjoy a lovely freeze pop. Hopefully it'll conform. And that's all.
Cool. Any other caucus reports? All right, seeing none, we will move into the Brand Immersion Task Force presentation. Yeah. Representative Lupton.
Point of personal Yeah, okay. Is there a plug for a sound that goes on?
Yeah, right here.
That's good, yes.
Okay, should we go? All right, while Glenn is setting up, I wanted to introduce you to Glenn. This is Glenn Bueller, who is from marketing and will be telling us a little bit about kind of some of the new brand that we're looking at coming up here very soon. We had a task force this year called the Brand Immersion Task Force that basically looked at a tagline for the university and how we're representing ourselves outside of here. And I believe he's going to present us with the results tonight. And without further ado,
Thanks.
let's see if we can.
Going on? Yeah, let me try this again. Come on.
have no idea how to do that.
Okay.
Usually I hit F7 and it works.
Do you have to hit Control F7 or
No,
FN F7?
Let me try it for you.
I'm clueless to Max if anyone has any suggestions.
Give me 1 second.
Um,
Wait. Wait a second. Oh, oh.
I know Max. Yeah,
Hold on.
it'll come up.
there we go.
Did it come up?
There you go.
Ooh.
But it's
That's
still-
my very cool desktop. Now we need to
You
get.
want to take it over to the.
I think I might have that.
There
do
you
it?
go.
How come it looks like
No,
that?
it's a
though?
little
You
big.
want to change your.
Let me try one more time. Yes. No. Works here.
You need to change your screen.
Output resolution.
Yeah, your output resolution.
Was that right? Well, I never had to do that before.
Go hit escape. You can do this in PowerPoint.
I don't remember where to do it.
Go to some.
What?
Tools. So slideshow.
Setup show.
Oh, there we go. How is it that this is showing up?
If you go back up to where you were, slideshow, and then click view presenter tools.
Okay, one
You get
second.
out of that, where you're in right now.
Usually if it shows up on this, you should be fine.
Well, it might if you.
There we go.
There you
Hey,
go.
very good. Thank you. All right, thanks. Thanks, everyone. Good evening. And as Miles said, I've been actually in university marketing communications for a little over a year now, so I'm still fairly new to the university. And a good part of this past year has actually been spent on branding. And it's something that we had looked to go back to, actually, we're taking a few steps back to move ahead, because you see what the little subhead that I had here is, or what our mark means, and that really is kind of what we're talking about here. As everyone is probably aware, the university went through a kind of a rebranding process a couple of years ago when they changed the logo from what it was formerly was, and I know all their derogatory names for it, but we'll move on. To the current logo that is the Sunburst, let's call it that. And that was done a couple of years ago, but that was done under difficult circumstances. Usually when you create a new logo, you want to create it based on a brand platform, a positioning statement, and your logo is developed. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be cutting you off here. Your logo is developed out of that, but that wasn't quite done for certain reasons that they had to just put a new logo, get a new logo together and get it out there. This was before my time here. But we decided since I got here that we really wanted to step back a little bit and say, well, what does that logo mean? What is our brand position? And how do we want to go out in the marketplace as Case Western Reserve University? So we put together this brand immersion team that represented different stakeholders, that we call them, throughout the university. Miles was on the team as representing undergraduate students. We had graduate student representatives. We had alums. We had faculty representatives. And then we also did a lot of interviewing of people as well, because Case Western Reserve University has a lot of different stakeholders that are very interested in this stuff, as I found out more and more as my year went on. So I came from the Cleveland Clinic. We had really one constituency, that was patients. Over here, we have a lot of different people we need to target and message to. So how do we go about doing that? Basically, this is a classic brand positioning model. And anyone who eventually goes into doing marketing or does branding will generally have something that people might say that's proprietary, but it really isn't. This is what everyone does. So you look at your emotional connections to the university, the functional attributes, or pretty much what are you good at, and then personality traits. And that's always fun, because we had a good time with that. So if Case Western Reserve University was a person, who would it be? And who are we now? Who would we like to be? And we also said if Case Western Reserve University was a car, what kind of car are we? What kind of car would we like to be? And we had some really interesting answers to that. But what we came up with overall is what is our positioning model? We filled in the data underneath each of those. So we said emotional connections. We want to be challenging, exciting, empowering, and ethical, of course. Functional attributes, pretty standard research, strong faculty, where we're located over here in this cultural urban setting, and our interdisciplinary programs based on the strategic plan, which I'm sure every one of you have read and memorized. So, of course, if you haven't, I have. And then personality traits, intellectual, respected, inquisitive, all the things that everyone in here is, and also our faculty, our alums, and other people that we engage with. So this was our positioning model. These were the traits, and we said, okay, out of this, what do we come up with? What is our brand position? And we came up with this brand positioning statement, and that is defining the progressive university experience. Now, as academics will go, progressive has different meanings. It also has different meanings in other ways. It's not an insurance company. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about the progressive movements of the early 1900s. We're talking about progressive meaning cutting edge, leading edge. But we did put a definition to this, and we brought it down basically into a paragraph of what we're talking about. And I'll read this paragraph just so we're all together. Case Western University offers a rare combination of forward-thinking educational opportunities in a unique urban setting. We provide learning from leading-edge experts in a collaborative, hands-on environment ripe with field research and real-world application. Case Western Reserve University allows students to examine life's greatest questions in an inspiring cultural setting. So we brought it down to that, but we also wanted to give this a little life. We felt those words were really strong, but we wanted to show them in images and put a little music to it. That's what we did, and then actually I'm going to show you right now. This is a very short PowerPoint video. Hopefully the music plays. So we thought that PowerPoint video kind of captured a lot of what's happening at the university. Now, we all have to realize that trying to cull down what everything CASE is about into a paragraph, then a sentence, and then try to put it in all into a less than 2-minute PowerPoint presentation is a difficult thing to do, but we feel that we really captured it here. But then we get to the point here now where actually I was kidding the trustees when I said, doesn't this just scream a tagline? We wanted to see a tagline come up over here. And that really was what we did next. So we took this work and we said, okay, how do we get it all down into this 6 or 7 words that really do describe what CASE is about? So we came up with some taglines. We worked on this literally probably for the last 4 months. Came up with probably 400 taglines. Miles, you didn't even see half or 3/4 of these things we came up with. And that was a huge exercise in trying to really get the right words. And we went through a lot of different iterations. So I wanted to show you the tagline we came up with. This tagline has been shopped around. We've had a lot of people look at it, see it. We've gotten a lot of great feedback on it. And then also we developed a few ad concepts, which are really just concepts. They're necessarily we're going to be going out with them, but just give you a flavor of what we're doing. So first of all, so everyone knows just what a tagline does. Again, it's a very difficult thing to put together to really encapsulate everything that the university is about. But it really is something that supports the positioning, helps people recognize. So when you hear these words, hopefully people will start thinking Case Western Reserve University. And then it has to work across the entire organization. If you go back to what the position is, because this is what I showed you before, this is what the tagline is based off of. I kind of highlighted some of the words that we thought were really important: forward thinking, learning from leading edge experts, and examining life's greatest questions. Okay, so we put this all together, and after 500 iterations or so, we came up with the tagline, Case Western Reserve University, think beyond the possible. Is that good or bad?
That is great.
I like him. We felt this was a really strong tagline. It's aspirational tagline, but yet it's true. And just to point out a couple of things that we looked at. We look at our strategic plan and our mission statement. What do we strive to be? We want to improve people's lives through preeminent research, education, and creative endeavor. That's thinking beyond the possible. Our vision: we aspire to be recognized internationally as an institution that imagines and influences the future. Think beyond the possible. But it's not just about thinking, because even though we do great thinking over here, we have action, a result. There is a result of all that thinking. So we put together a couple of concept ads. Again, these are concepts. But really, I'm going to show you is how this line and how this concept works across very few situations. One is a philanthropy situation, another is a faculty situation. Honestly, we didn't have a lot of money to do a lot of concept ads. So we did two of them. So one is, I don't know if people know Larry Sears. He gave $6 million for the Sears Laboratory. And just the tone of this: embrace your inner Pythagoras. How one man's donation changed the way engineers think by changing where they think. And then Larry has a little sand shovel there. As you can see, we kind of photoshopped in, because he calls that his new lab his intellectual playground. So we're trying to come up with that kind of different statement that makes us stand out. Other one that we put together is Dr. Sandy Markowitz. We kind of put him in a relaxed setting. This is not really him. The face is his, but the rest of it is not. Think more molecular. Dr. Markowitz discovered a way to help people save lives from the comfort of their own home. This talks about his at-home colorectal cancer screening test. That's really going to help people save lives for people who are afraid to get colonoscopies. And actually, we've been promoting that a lot more. People have been hearing this in the local market on CPN and in other places. So that just gives you a flavor for what we're going to be doing. Again, these are concepts. We have to still work on these. I like this quote. I just think it's a great quote. I think it really fits what everyone does here at the university. Discovery consists of seeing what everybody has seen and thinking when nobody has thought. I just think that's a great quote. And it really does capture the essence of what the university is about. Finally, I talked about how this goes back to the mark, which is right here. And if everyone recalls, that upper right-hand corner of the mark, it was purposely left open. It wasn't filled in. It wasn't supposed to create a box. But the line's left over with the rays shining out. And that's really talks about possibilities, about doing things greater and greater each time. And that really is what we're talking about when we talk about think beyond the possible. So that's really my presentation. We're kind of going around to different, we're trying to roll this out internally, which is why I'm here today. And Miles was kind enough to let me speak. We're going to be presenting it to faculty, alums, all our different constituents throughout the summer. Get new students used to it when they're coming in. Then we're going to start thinking about what's the rollout plan for the fall, when we can figure, okay, how do we want to get the word out? And it's going to be very, what we're calling resource appropriate, because we don't have a lot of money to do this. And we have to be something that's true and real to the university. So it's not going to be any big glitzy splash. We're not going to do that. We'll start probably putting it on the homepage. we'll start incorporating it in some spots here and there, maybe a little advertising here. We haven't figured it out yet. But you will be seeing these words more and more, and hopefully, and we'll be telling more stories. And we're going to be asking people for stories. I think that's one of the great things about what we're going to do, is we're going to ask everyone here and then throughout the entire university, how do you think beyond the possible? And hopefully we'll get more stories. Maybe we'll do a story corps type of thing like they do on CPN, and gather stories and do podcasts. So we'll see. We have a lot of opportunities to really make this work. I think it's a really rich statement, and we really want to do a lot with it. So that's my presentation. And yes, sir.
I have a couple questions. One's not entirely related. Back in the example advertisements you had,
Yes.
what does the verb Greek mean?
Oh, it was just Greek copy.
Oh, is that a problem?
Yeah, no, it said Greek in there?
It's a Greek in copy.
Yeah, that's, we haven't fleshed out the wording in the ads, so you just put in Greek copy, Greek and copy. It's just words, that's all it is. That's what designers do,
Okay.
just to fill in just letters.
Second, is
Yes.
this like a potential single unit of advertisement, or this thing that's on the screen right now?
And I'm not sure what you mean.
Are you considering using these, like the university logo
Mhm.
and that phrasing connected like this?
Yes.
There?
Yes.
Just, I don't know, between either the two different fonts.
Oh, yeah, don't worry, but we haven't decided on the font yet.
And then also just
Yes.
like the capital T and like period.
Yes, and I just stuck the words underneath there right now, but thank you, and it's good observation. But we haven't set the font yet, what that's going to be, and it probably will have a period on it as well. And actually, we just worked to get the trademark going on it, so I just stuck the TM on that this morning, in fact. But part of what we're going to be doing also is looking at all our logos and figure out what the font's going to be, attach them to the logos, and decide in terms of the other logos for the university how that works as well. So we still have a lot of work to do on this. But thank you. Hey, yes, Bruce. Good to see you again.
You too. Do you think then, will the branding identity guidelines then, will you just flush out that
Yep.
whole brochure?
Yep.
Just completely?
Yep.
Okay. Is
We're
it
gonna-
gonna change the way that the logos use it all now? Or is it pretty much gonna stay the same just with regards to position?
Well, I think we need to look at that again. You know, I think we need to look at our guidelines, see where we're doing well on them, and see where we need to be strengthened, and just put a whole new set of guidelines and together and get that back up on the internet. People have noticed, we've basically taken down our website, and because there's very old information on there, and it was very difficult to try to do this piecemeal, so we just took the whole thing down, and we're gonna start rebuilding it over the summer, and hopefully come up with all new guidelines as well. Yeah.
One more, just,
Yeah.
The ads you put up, are those print ads or are those?
I mean, they're kind of like concepts, but I guess they would be for print ads, yeah. Yeah, but the design needs to be worked on. You know, it's more kind of like that tone, that's really what we're trying to go for, and how we can use this tagline in other circumstances. So it doesn't just apply to faculty, it doesn't just apply to students, it applies across the board, which is really what something we were trying to do. Yes?
Going to the point about the branding website, all that
Mhm.
stuff coming out. If students do need information on branding, is there anyone they can contact for advice or templates or something?
You talk about for right now?
Yeah, a student like needed something for some presentation or giving.
Mhm. Yeah, you could contact me. It's fine. Absolutely.
What's your email?
My email is Glenn with 2 N's, dot Beeler, B as in boy, IELER, at case.edu.
No, could you repeat that?
Sure. Glenn, GLENN, dot Beeler, B as in boy, IELER, at case.edu. I guess I could have given you my shorthand version of this. I'm not used to giving that. I should start doing that. It's easier. Anyone else? Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Any intentions of perhaps partnering this new slogan with the great new name of our university magazine?
That's very good. And as you notice, that's actually something that we're starting to build a brand using that think. And thanks for that promo, by the way. I appreciate that. Obviously, we've worked with Bruce a little bit on it. So, but We are starting to do that more often. You'll see that even we refreshed the magazine on the website, because now we have a Think website that really is going to be more of our news and information website, and we're going to be expanding that as well. So we're going to make some changes to the university website and to where news resides, and how we can make news to really change things better and easier and more often than we've been doing in the past. So yes, the answer is absolutely yes. Yes, sir.
Could you maybe summarize what the role of students is in all of this?
In terms of,
You know, the university is being rebranded, you know, like, I mean, what do we do about it?
well, first of all, I hope that everyone here agrees that this is an appropriate tagline for the university, and understands that, you know, what we put together is going to be based on something that has to fit the entire university. What we're asking students right now, we're presenting, and we're really trying to let people understand, to get used to these words, to understand it, and then, like I said, eventually we're going to ask you to share stories with us, and to be supporters of this, because we really need to start rallying around what we do here at the university, and I think it's really important. I think this is a great university. Like I said, I've worked for some really fantastic places. I think this is a fantastic place, and I think it's fantastic for a lot of reasons, for everyone that's in this room, for our alums, for our faculty, and so we have to start using this as a rallying cry. And that's what we're going to start doing. And any way you see to incorporate this in some things that you might be doing, beyond things that we're even imagining, that would be helpful as well. We'd love to be able to partner with students to be able to do that. Good?
Yep.
Excellent. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
All right, for the sake of time, we're going to shorten open forum to 2 minutes, so please keep your comments concise and clear. Representative Wang. Sure. Any points for open forum? Representative Teshelu.
So I tried using the printer last night, and I checked online for the, in Wade and Village. And I checked online for the status, and it said that the Village printer was up, but when I tried printing, well, it just told me it was offline, even though online it said it was working.
Was the printer itself broken, or the thing where you swipe your card messed up?
Well, it wasn't even, I didn't go to the printer because it didn't even tell me it was online.
There was a glitch with that printer last night. I believe it's been resolved. I'll look into it.
Well, I did try it again this morning, so
It's fine. It should be fine. I know there was a glitch last night, and it is back up, so problem's been resolved.
I would just ask, I know that we're getting towards the end of the hour here, but we haven't really gotten to much in our agenda. We have a really packed agenda tonight, and all of it is really important, so I'd really appreciate it if you guys could please all stay until the end of our business tonight. I personally really appreciate it, because some of this stuff is personally very important to me, and I'd like to really hear your input. So.
Okay, I'll make this quick. I was just going to ask if Representative or Vice President Cummins for next year for academic affairs could look into the SIS for BME. I can talk to you about it later, but the issue is that every single tissue engineering major has had to get approval for something that should be pretty standard, and I think that just in general the SIS system should be a little bit more geared toward giving students the benefit of the doubt instead of giving them the runaround. So maybe look into that.
All right, any more questions on the forum? Okay, so then we'll move into elections. We'll move to Secretary of Elections. Any more nominations for Secretary? Vice President Hassan Ali.
I move to close nominations.
Okay. All right. So we will start with Karen. Yeah. So We'll start with Karen. Can all the other candidates please step out? Okay, you will have 30 seconds to speak, a minute for questions. Please make it quick.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Karen Hong, and I'm a freshman double majoring in biology and sociology. And I'm asking for your vote as Secretary of USG because I have the experience, the personal attributes, and the dedication necessary for the position. As for experience, this past year I was the class of 2012 secretary, and I also acted as a stand-in for the first year secretary when she wasn't here. And I understand the mechanics of agendas and minutes. I also talked to Secretary O'Brien, and he showed me basically everything that Secretary does. And prior to spring break, I talked with Colleen about the expectations for this position. As for personal attributes, I have the energy, and I'm also punctual. I've never missed a single GA. I'm very organized and responsible, which are qualities that every secretary should have. I'm also very dedicated to USG, and I've spent a lot of time on USG initiatives. I did mass funding, and I was on the USG Relay for Life team. I'm the USG rep for the Twing Study Over Committee, and I was involved in every step of the way for a first-year caucus event. Next semester, I only have 15 credit hours, and the only other organization I will be in is AMSA, so I'll have plenty of time to dedicate to USG, and I actually plan my schedule around USG. And just in closing, I'd like to say that I believe that I can contribute the best to USG by being secretary, and that I really, really do love USG, and it's where I belong, and I'm extremely proud to be in USG, and joining USG was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life.
All right, any questions? Representative Cummins.
What do you see your role on
Could you speak a little louder, please?
What do you see your role on exec if you do win next year?
I see myself taking minutes and agendas, obviously, and I'll be more prompt than Secretary O'Brien is in uploading them to USG website.
Ooh. Okay.
I see myself as more a behind the stage person because I don't really like being in the spotlight. I like making things happen, but I don't like being right there in front of everything.
Okay. Representative Hernandez.
If you're elected secretary, what are the first 3 things that you would do, or the first 3 people you would talk to?
One of the first few things I do is probably cry of happiness. And second thing I do is go give a hug to my supporters who've been amazing. And the third thing I would do is go update my Twitter.
And who are the 3 people you would talk to? The 3 people you would talk to?
Divya, Bruce, Jaisal.
My name wasn't in there. Okay.
Love you too, Dwayne.
Oh, no? Any other questions? You can leave.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Mega, you will have 30 seconds to speak. 30 seconds. And you have 1 minute for questions.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Mega, as many of you may know. I'm a freshman representative, and I'm a chemistry major. I'm running for secretary mainly because I really want to expand my involvement with USG. This year has been great. I love being involved in this organization, mainly because I'm really passionate about it. And I have many ideas about how to expand the responsibilities of being secretary, and I feel like I could take, I have the time and dedication to take on the responsibilities. I'll yield my time to questions.
Okay. President Nikolic.
that you've known to improve the position?
Well, I know like past secretaries have become chairs of ad hoc committees, and definitely want to do that again. Also, I feel like it's important for just a general GA to know what's going on with exec internally, and I feel like there should be like some sort of report that goes out.
Vice President Hofer.
What role do you see yourself playing on the exec board?
I feel like I could be pretty vocal about my opinions. I've definitely learned to voice my opinion this year, and I've been pretty quiet and in meetings, and I've definitely improved upon that.
Representative Hammond.
The other candidate says she has an amazing laptop and crazy typing skills. Do you feel that you have those qualifications as well?
Yes, I definitely do. I took a keyboarding class, and I can pretty much type pretty fast. And I have an awesome HP computer that I'm in love with.
Vice President Patrick.
What are your other extracurricular and academic obligations?
Well, besides from school, USG this year has been my priority. So really, there's not any other time commitments for me.
Representative Hernandez.
If you were elected secretary, what are the first 3 things you would do?
Wow, the first 3 things I would do, as in improve or
Just
what? I'd probably be really, really happy and jump around a little.
That's 2. One more.
And give everyone hugs.
Better. Okay. Any other questions? Representative Cummins.
Why wasn't there a letter of intent on the agenda?
I was debating this entire week whether I was going to run or not. I was a little concerned about running against Karen because she is a friend of mine, but I decided that I really did want to do this.
Follow-up question, do you think that being prompt with agendas and that type of thing is important to be secretary?
What?
Do you think that,
Can you speak to the mic?
do you think that submitting things on time is kind of important for being a secretary?
I definitely do think so, yes. But I felt like I really was debating whether or not I was going to run, and I decided, basically, I did have the letter written, I just need to submit it. And I got convinced to do it, so.
Any other questions? All right, can you step outside? We'll move to discussion. All right, we'll have 5 minutes of discussion. Please keep your comments brief and concise. Yes.
The other 2 candidates dropped out.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Representative Hammond. Sure. Vice President.
So it seems like the question before the assembly is what type of speaker do you want? Because they're 2 dramatically different types. Sorry, secretary. Because they're 2 dramatically different types of people. So that's definitely kind of what I think people should be thinking about.
Vice President Hofer.
I'm just going to say, personally, I think Mega would do a great job. Being a member of exec board, it's very important that you speak your mind and that you participate in the conversation. And while I think there is a time and a place to take a back seat, I also think that some of the issues that come before our board are very important, and we really want to hear everyone's opinion. And if you don't feel comfortable sharing your opinion with the exec board, then I don't think you're as critical a member as you could be.
Representative Cummins.
I don't know, I guess I have a really strong opinion on the secretary and treasurer positions, that they are very strongly just for administrative purposes. And as much as I would rather see Mega in an executive role on the executive committee, I don't think I'll be able to vote for her the first sentence in her letter of intent has a spelling error, and then she didn't submit the letter of intent on time, so I don't think I would vote for her.
Okay, President Nicholas.
I personally can really understand why she wouldn't submit the letter of intent on time, being that it was more or less a personal situation that she wanted to deal with on her own, just based on the friendship. I can understand that, and I can understand why she would have some hesitation running against Karen. That being said, the way that it's run on the executive committee this year, under my direction, is that I've asked Neil and previously Secretary Pavlov for their input just as much as any vice president, and I'm not sure what
It was the same under.
Okay, so it's very important to get as many opinions as you can, and on that note, an outspoken person, I believe, would be a better candidate for this position based on the executive privilege, or the executive committee. And also, I think that as far as skills go, both of them are very equally matched. They can both type, they both use computers. I don't really see much of a difference there. So.
Okay. Vice President Patrick.
Yeah, I'd like to counter what Steve said. I think the fact that she thought about it, deliberated carefully, kind of goes in the opposite direction in my mind. It's a plus in her category for me.
Vice President Patrick.
I guess the one thing that I will just point out, if you do read Karen's letter, she's been thinking about this since well before spring break, meeting with Colleen and meeting with other people. This is really the role that she sees herself doing well in, and she obviously, there might be some bias since my name made it into her speech. But I do really think that she can do an excellent job at staying organized and staying on top of the position, and she is going to give her opinion if you ask for it. She might jump up and down while she does it, but she's not going to keep her mouth completely shut. I don't know why she might have given that.
Yeah. Representative Sessions.
Okay, so I know Karen says that she doesn't speak up, but I know for the entire time that she's been in COC, she's been in USG, she helped with the first year caucus when we planned our program. She was always there, regardless of her other commitments, regardless of other time commitments that she has, and she's always willing to speak up, even though I think she's just an overly modest person. I really believe that she would be an excellent choice to have an exec position, and she would be more than willing to do whatever is necessary and go above and beyond.
All right. Treasurer Fike.
I'd really like to hear Secretary O'Brien's opinion on this. Is that allowed?
Sure.
No comment, really.
Okay. Representative Nguyen.
I would like to speak on behalf of Mega because I think that she brings something new to the table. She has ideas, and while coming into this position, you think Secretary has a pretty blatant job. She's coming obviously with creative ideas to try and make the position better and trying to make the executive, I guess, accountable for the representatives as well as the students.
Representative Gillespie.
Having nominated Mega for the secretary position, she was very concerned about running against one of her good friends and someone who has wanted this for a long time. But I think even working with her through the initiatives, and especially the focus group initiative, she is a very effective communicator, which I think is one of the most important roles of secretary. She also definitely can maintain a professional attitude, and so I feel like that would definitely be an asset within GA.
Representative Hernandez.
So one thing that really impressed me about Karen is that she's a really introverted person, and I think that it was just a lot for her, and she really went out and tried so hard, even just to speak in front of everyone today. So I think that it really impressed me that she was able to go out of her comfort zone. I think she'll be willing to do that more, and so I feel like as someone who had that same type of problem myself, I think that I'm really impressed with Karen.
Okay. Representative Hammond.
So just in response to the comment that Steve brought up about punctuality being a concern for Mega, I don't think that her board report being, or not word, her letter of intent being in late correlates at all to whether or not she would be functional with minutes, considering that it was a choice whether or not to run for the position, and it wouldn't be a choice of whether or not to send out minutes and agendas. And in addition, I really like the fact that she did have ideas for how to make the position better, whereas Karen just kind of noted that she felt she was qualified and liked being involved.
Okay, any more comments? Representative Arwell.
I'd like to speak on behalf of Karen. I was very, very impressed this year during our first caucus meetings when our current secretary for the caucus was not there. Karen willingly took all the minutes and did all the secretarial positions and duties and sent out all the emails. No one ever asked her to do it. She would always do it herself. And she did it so willingly and always was happy to do it. I have a couple of concerns as to Mega's attendance. She would miss several of our caucus meetings or come really late to them, and I think being on time for all the meetings as well as GA is very, very, very important.
It is important. It is important. President Nicholas.
I also wanted to say that I was very impressed by Mega's idea of and her perceived need that she has for connecting the General Assembly with the Executive Board more. It's something that, I've been on the Executive Board for 3 years, and I know it's something that we've struggled with every year, and I'm not sure that, we've even this year informed you guys the best as to what we were doing. So I think that's a very good idea going into the year, and I'd also like to move to end debate and call to question.
Okay.
Second.
Someone else has to. Vice President Smiley.
I move to previous question.
Second.
All right. We're going to vote on the candidates. So.
Don't waste your ballot for voting really big letters. Don't get one.
Yes, you only get one, so you'll be voting
They can come back.
for treasurer and for election commissioner. All right, so this time we'll move to treasurer elections. Representative Cummings?
21st will purpose.
Yeah. Are there any more nominations for treasurer? Representative Mendes?
I nominate Devin.
Second.
Mr. Smith, you accept? Okay. Are there any more nominations for treasurer? Vice President Hassan.
I move to close nominations for treasurer.
Second.
All right, so we'll start with Representative Shah. So you can come to the podium.
The other two candidates, please exit the room. All right, you have 30 seconds to speak. 1 minute for questions. Wait till the door is closed.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jaisal Shah, and I'm a first-year student. Therefore, I'm in the first-year caucus. I'm majoring in biology and pre-med, and I would like to talk to you today about the treasurer position, which I'm really adamant for seeking. I've been part of the finance committee for about a year now, and so I pretty much understand how the budgeting goes. I've been there for mass funding, and I've been to the meetings, and I've noticed that we use Excel a lot, and I've used that for past research projects and for classes. So I believe I'm pretty adequate in using Excel. Organization skills, I believe, is something that's really important when you're writing the budget. I've been secretary for the first year caucus, and I've learned organization. I've learned how to stay on top of things. One of the characteristics that I believe is good for the treasurer position is determination, dedication, and then there's also diligence. When I have a goal, I'll aim for it and I'll reach high for it. And I'm determined to get this position as treasurer, and I will do everything I can to be the best treasurer there is. Knowing that I'll be in USG next year and being at Case for the rest of my 3 years, I find more passion to be involved and to better represent Case Western Reserve. So I'd really appreciate your vote, and I'm very adamant again about seeking this treasurer position. And I thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay. Any questions? Vice President Petrick.
What are your other academic and extracurricular outreach?
Currently, USG is my top priority, so.
Representative Downey.
Have you spoken to Treasurer Fike about what his day-to-day kind of duties are?
Yes, I have spoken to him a little bit, and I've also talked to VP, Representative Petrick. So.
Vice President Hassanali.
So, the last 3 treasurers, I've always been in the office with them, and they seem to like have continuous amounts of work. Sometimes they would get behind, others have been more on top. How do you feel like you could devote, say, a certain number of hours a day to handling disbursements and other internal USG sort of things?
Most definitely. One thing that I've definitely learned a lot about organization and time management this year, and so I think I'm the best bet for this.
Okay. Vice President Hassanali.
Could the speaker comment as to how Vice President Petrick has affected your life? There are very few people that impress me, and he's worked very hard, and I like really look up to him.
Okay. All right. One last question, Colleen.
The position is one of the critical ones for student organizations, and there's no getting around the hours you put into the position. A minimum, Carl, of 6 to 8.
About 7.
7 to 8, 9 hours a week, and that involves a lot of mundane tasks. Perhaps what I want to know the most is how are you going to reach out and communicate to the student organizations, the people you're serving?
I'll talk to students as much as I can. I'll let them know what's going on, and if they have any opinions at all, I will try and voice them out, or I'd give them ideas, or I'd give USG ideas. So.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Can you exit the room while the other candidate comes in? We'll have Sean come in next. Again, 30 seconds to speak. Please keep it 30 seconds and a minute for questions.
Well, hi, my name is Sean, and I'm a biochemistry and Coxside double major with a minor in BAME. I'm here to run for the position of treasurer, and, well, the question is why I think I'm worth it. Well, I've been on the finance committee for 1 semester, and after the end, I think it's the place to be. I really like it, and I am willing to put in more time and more energy in this committee, and that is why I want to be the treasurer. I placed my whole schedule for next semester thinking about this position. Presently, my time commitments are just USG and basically a lot of labs next semester, but I'm willing to put in as much time as I need and as much time as this position may require. Well, just to set an example, right now, I'm continuing on 3 hours of sleep every day. Right now, I'm like 41 hours without sleep, but I can still go on, and I'm sure it's going to be less next semester, but still, I can go on.
Okay.
Any questions?
Okay, questions. Representative Downey.
Because this is such a big time commitment in the office,
Right.
do you feel with your labs and all that you'll be able to spend 8, maybe even 10 hours a week?
I'll get all my labs done that same night.
Okay.
Vice President Hassanali.
Since this position interacts with student groups in
Right.
such a high capacity, how do you feel your personal skills or traits could help you in that type of capacity?
I saw Vice President Petrick interacting with the people there, and members of the finance committee, talking to people during the appeals process and during the funding, mass funding thing. What I feel is that right now I know people, and I'm on the start. I know that, and currently I feel that I can handle that. I mean, I can get along well with people, and I get to know them pretty soon. So,
Okay.
any other questions?
All right. Can you please exit the room? We'll have Representative Smith come in. Okay, you have 30 seconds to speak. Please keep it 30 seconds and 1 minute for questions.
Hello, my name is Devin Smith. Sorry for my voice, a little raspy. I'm a biochemistry major and a history minor, and I am currently an at-large representative for USG, and I'm also on the finance committee. I am a newly initiated member of Sigma Chi, which is the fraternity I'm in, and I currently tutor every Tuesdays and Thursdays at KSL for underprivileged kids, and I am completely aware of all the duties of the treasurer as stated in the Constitution, and I believe to the utmost of my ability that I can fulfill these duties. Being on the finance committee has allowed me to understand the monetary flow and how many groups operate and function. I think this will help me very much in my duties as treasurer. As a personal statement, I just want to add, I am a man of my word. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it, and I do it right. No matter how much work is needed, no matter how much time, and I understand it's a very large time commitment, and I'm ready for anything. I'm completely dedicated to USG and this position. Thank you.
Okay, any questions? 2 questions. All right, Representative Lupton.
You say you're dedicated, you can't wait for this position. What makes you, what inspired you originally to take this position?
That's actually pretty easy. USG, looking at other groups, this is the most professional organization I've seen on campus. It is clear cut. I mean, look at the organization in here. And I want to be a part of something this great. And if I can do my part in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to do it. And if it happens to be treasurer, I'm going to do it.
Representative Downey.
Have you spoken to Treasurer Fike about the duties?
No, I have not. But I have read the duties on the website.
Okay, thanks. Can you exit the room while we move to discussion?
Yep.
Okay, for the sake of time, about 3 minutes of discussion. Please keep your comments concise and do not be redundant. Representative Downey.
Okay, so I'm going to speak in favor of Devin. I talked to him very briefly earlier this year, and he really is excited. I'm not sure if you can tell from when he just spoke there, but he really, really does want to put his best and all his energy into this. He's spoken to me, and I know he hasn't spoken to Treasurer Fike, but he actually will put aside the time. He has put aside the time. And I also wanted to say something about Jason. I know, I'm not sure how much she was actually at the committee meetings. Right, I know, but I'm not sure she's there for all the time. And then also for mass funding, she was there for quite a bit. And I'm thinking she only showed up for maybe 1 day out of the 3 or 4 days. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Secretary O'Brien.
I was wondering if Treasurer Fike had
Well, since you asked, I think it would be a good idea just to maybe tell you what's happened, and then you guys can judge for yourself based on the actions of the people involved. So Sean came to me and talked to me about it first, and he set up an appointment to shadow me. He came during one of the days that I worked in the office and stayed with me the entire time. And and we went back and forth, just him asking questions. And then he asked me a little bit about his letter, and then asked me actually if he could come back Thursday, assuming he's elected, to shadow me again. Jason came and talked to me about the position, and she did set up an appointment with me to shadow me, which she hasn't done yet. And then, as Representative Downey said, I haven't been contacted by them at all. So that's just kind of where everything stands with what they've done on their behalf.
Representative Lupton.
I want to speak on real quick, Jaisal. She does have, on her amazing time management, I had lunch with her about 3 weeks ago, and she needed to leave early, and I asked her why, and she said she needed to go study, and I'm like, well, usually I put off things to the next night, and I pull all-nighters, but she actually said she needed to study on, she had something due in 3 days. That blew me away. So I think she does have time commitment skills, and I think that's going to be a big thing with the treasurer position. And she did take the time to speak with myself and Treasurer Fike.
Last comment, Representative Session.
I only have one concern. When I spoke to Jaisal yesterday about her running for the treasurer position, obviously I'm not treasurer or VP of finance, but she made this remark that she knows that both she and Sean want the position, and I'm not sure whether it would actually be possible, but she said she wanted to possibly swap out treasurer responsibilities every other week with Sean. So that's...
Vice President Patrick, last comment.
That was actually based on one of the many suggestions I made to them. I sat down with people running, and I suggested that as Representative Moore and Treasurer Fike have done this year, that they set up a system for splitting the duties. Representative Moore has helped with some original side things. I would like that with myself and Treasurer Fike to actually look into setting a split position for at least two of the interested parties. Ask the people involved. I don't actually have a great deal to add on the people involved actually at this point. I'll just stay quiet.
All right. I'm going to end discussion in the interest of time. Is there a motion to call your discussion? Representative Downey.
Call your discussion.
All right. Is there a second? Okay. And then I'm going to the nominees for treasurer. Please use the same ballot that Parliamentarian Gardner gave you. Also, I want to say only elected representatives from this year vote. New representatives, you have not been sworn in. Your term does not start until June 1st, so you do not vote in this election. May 1st, sorry.
No, we need election.
All right, in the interest of time, we're going to move into what?
We have to put election commissioner on the ballot.
I was just about to do that.
We're going to move into fall election commissioner nominations. Are there any nominations for fall election commissioner? Vice President Hofert, sorry.
Second.
Okay. Vice President Hassanali.
I nominate Jackie Stanton. She's not here.
She's not here. Okay.
Hold on, I got her.
Any more nominations? Sure. Okay. So, Leah, if you want to come up and say some words, and then 30 seconds, and then a minute for questions.
Okay, so I've spoken with Nicole and Jeff about this today, and it sounds like something I'd be interested in. I want to really encourage the freshmen to run for USG. And I think the best way to do that is to talk to individual freshmen, and then once you get them excited, to talk to their friends. I know I've done that within Delta Gamma, and I can do that more with the whole freshman class. I'm kind of a rules person, so I think if you have rules, it's important to follow them. But you also have to consider that they're freshmen and might not understand all of them, so I really want to work on making sure that they understand all of the campaigning rules and things like that.
Okay. Any questions? All right, can you step outside really quick for discussion? Yes. Okay. President Nikolic.
Second.
Representative Thompson.
Move to vote by acclamation.
Okay. Is there any dissent? All right. Congratulations to Leah. Sorry. All right. This time we'll move into old business. Is there? Yeah. Has everybody voted? Okay. The ballots are going to be collected. We're going to move into old business. President Nikolic. Is there a second? All right. Speaker in the pro.
Teeny tiny budget, I hope you'll write your magnifying glasses, is the proposed budget last year. I will be making one amendment to this budget to add the Student Sustainability Council, give them a $500 line item. That was one thing that was left off here. Beyond that, I believe I've explained everything on here in the past, open to points. Nope. The spring's budget? This is for things happening in the fall.
President Nikolic.
WorkSync is it's maximum $4,500. Hopefully, we're hoping we can talk with either Student Affairs IT or maybe some other SEC organizations to see if they would appreciate this system. It's sort of an online. Actually, I'm going to give my time to Nicole Beefy Hobart on this. She can give a more succinct summary.
Pricing really quickly.
Yeah.
I'm discussing that with OrderSync tomorrow, and it looks like it will be less than the quote that I originally quoted you. But I can't speak any further on that, so I'll have information for us.
As with many items here, this is a highball of what the maximum we will spend. It will basically move a lot of the things the treasurer does online, as well as a lot of the things that the finance committee has had to do for mass funding. So we can have an entirely online system. This outsources. We've many times, at least 3 times since I've been here, have tried to get student architects to help us build one. This has failed every time. So we're more or less giving up on that and outsourcing it to a proven vendor that will provide us with a product that will automatically have everything we want on it, that everyone can just take the tutorial on and get set up on.
Representative Hammond.
This piece of legislation doesn't cover Appendix E, does it? I'm trying to figure out which corresponds to what.
This covers the budget. This is the budget. Yes. The mass funding bill is a separate bill.
Representative Thompson.
What are the liabilities?
That is we have 5 or 6 of the student organizations have their own account within the AGY student activity fee funds. It's to just speed up the process so we don't have to keep moving things in and out of the USG pool of money. So we are liable if they want to spend those monies, they can do so at any time. This number generally stays static with deposits meeting. For the last 3 years, deposits have always met the withdrawals from it. Just to speak on the overall the disconnect between the total income and the semester total. As student organizations never spend the entirety of the mass funding numbers. The 82% this semester is very high, and also for the internal spending, these are all highball costs that we usually do not end up spending the full amount of. Almost every number in here is the maximum of what we will spend, and we will not come in at the maximum for almost any of these.
Representative Lupton.
Sorry, let's see the internal spend. If you look down under semester total, there's external, operating, and service. So the operating, the internal? Yeah, you can look at the operating are the middle numbers, the apparel, the helium and foam, the media vision, election costs, and so forth. But I would account operating and service both as internal figures, which is generally historically the case of about 15%. I was just wondering where, like when finance buys burritos
Yes, that comes out of the operating and or service, the internal.
Okay.
There's external and then operating service are both internal.
Okay. All right. If there are no more points, is there a speaker on the yes?
Do you recall if we actually ended up going with a welcome back dance version last year? Do we have any extra trips to the store in the middle of the dance?
This is actually a lower figure than the welcome back dance has had in the past, and that's actually having looked at the entire budget for the event in the fall. This is just a little over what we spent last fall.
Okay.
Including all the water and ice we bought at 9 o'clock that night.
All right. Is there a speaker in the con? All right, seeing no, we'll move to discussion on the bill. Vice President Hassanali.
I move to amend adding the Student Sustainability Council line item for $500.
Is that from the amendment?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any more points of discussion?
I would like to add under description of the Student Sustainability Council, operating funds for the undergraduate student government ad hoc committee on environmental matters. Be blank in there.
Okay. Is there any more points for discussion? Representative Hernandez.
Move to call the previous question.
Is there a second? All right. All those in favor of the bill, please raise your hand. Again, only elected representatives, new reps do not vote. All opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. All right, the bill passes. Is there any other new business? Vice President Petrick.
1815.
1814. Vice President Hassanali.
I move to introduce Bill B 18-14. Second.
All right. Is there a speaker in the pro?
All right, so this is the last time I will be up here
Yes.
talking about amending various operating documents that have to do with the Constitution. So what I'm going to do, and what you're going to do is follow me. I'm going to start moving my hands together, and you can stop when you choose, but I'm going to start with you, and this is to thank all the members of the Judicial Board that helped me on all of them. Second, this whole process ended up being part of a final paper I wrote for a class. Currently, I'm at 26 pages. It was due yesterday, but I haven't finished it yet. So if you guys go and screw it up by making amendments to this, I'm going to have to rewrite the paper. So let's just be sure to pass this when I sit.
Okay.
I hope, if anyone read anything over the past week and caught their eye, please bring it up. I don't really have much new to add.
Okay. Any points? All right. Is there a speaker in the con? Seeing none, we'll move into discussion. Vice President Petrick.
Call the previous question.
All right. All those in favor of Bill 18-14, please raise your hand. All those opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the bill passes. Okay, I think that's it for old business. We'll move into new business at this time. Is there any new business? Vice President Petrick.
Move to introduce Bill 18-15.
Is there a second? Okay. Is there a speaker in the pro?
Well, you all got it. You all got the summary last week with the agenda, and I know it was in the one sent out at least over the week, so you've had time to look at it. And does anyone have any questions on the allocations in there? It's $123,400.
$60.30, I believe. How did I end up in here?
It's in the back.
You know, I know that. I'm still wondering. Never mind. I'm open to points.
Okay, if there are no points, is there a speaker in the con? Seeing now, we'll move into discussion on the bill. Representative Hammond.
Move to call the previous question.
All right, all those in favor of the bill, B 18-15, please raise your hand. All opposed? Yes. Any abstentions? All right, the bill passes. Oh, that was to call the previous question. I'm sorry. So, we're extending discussion? Okay, we now vote. I'm sorry. Forgive me. All those in favor of the bill, please raise your hand. All those opposed? Any abstentions? There's two. All right, the bill passes. Is there any other new business? Representative Hernandez.
Move to introduce resolution R 18-16.
Second.
All right, is there a speaker in the pro?
So the whereas clauses are almost the same as they were when we passed the bill authorizing the referendum. And then the be it resolved section will reflect that no changes should be made at this time to the grading scale. So if there are any questions. Yes?
Why do we even need to send this out to them, like to Glenn Nichols, to William Basic? Like, why would we, even though like we don't want to make any changes, why do we need to let them know we don't need to make any changes? I think that would only give them an idea of, oh, we should, maybe we.
This question periodically comes up among the administration, and the fact that we put all of the work into it and got all of this information is beneficial for them when the question does come up. And in fact, I've had this information requested from a number of these administrations. I could give it to them outright, but I think that it's more, you know, I mean, procedurally, I would feel very uncomfortable doing that without the authorization of GA. So, I mean, and additionally, you know, it is essentially inevitable that it would come up again, and this time we'll have the data within the institutional kind of knowledge. So I don't know. At least that's where I see a value in it.
Can I point out one more thing? Legislation has 4 years life. So 4 years in the archives will be data for this organization. So it just kind of keeps itself alive.
Yeah, the last time this question was considered was 5 years ago, and that wasn't the first time it had been asked. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there a speaker in the con? All right, seeing now, we'll move into discussion. President Nikolic.
Move to amend. Okay, two amendments. Be it resolved section, start with Roman numeral 1 to 3 instead of 3 to 5. And under the current Roman numeral 5, to add in point B as Barbara Secretary, President of Case Western Reserve University, and to fix lettering appropriately.
As point B. Okay. Is that friendly?
Yeah.
Okay. Any more points for discussion? President Nikolic.
I would also say that please do give a few minutes of discussion on these, because these are appropriate business that still need to be handled, even though it's 8:44 on Tuesday night.
points for discussion. For discussion. Representative Lupton.
Actually, no, I already said everything.
Vice President Hofer.
This is a question to Jeff, or just kidding. I was wondering if you were going to include all of the research that your committee conducted as appendixes.
The research itself wasn't going to be included, the results of the referendum were, but certainly I'm open to that suggestion if you think that's important to be included.
Representative Lupton.
Just a point of clarification, this will be in color when it's presented to faculty, just because it's tough to see the appendix D.
Think we're done?
The moderators are colors.
Okay. All right, any more points for discussion? Vice President Hassanali.
I move to previous question.
Second.
All right, so if there's no dissent, we'll vote on the resolution. All in favor of the resolution, please raise your hand. All opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the resolution passes. Is there any other new business? President Nikolic,
Move to introduce resolution R18-18.
is there a second? All right, is there a speaker in the pro?
Okay, so pretty much this bill is to recommend that the university create and offer a self-defense course for physical education credit. Currently, there is the RAD program, but it's available only to female students, and male students can't take any course. Open to points.
Vice President Hofer.
Have you discussed this proposal with, I guess, the athletic department?
No, I have not, but I did speak to Karen Greger about it because she is kind of the unofficial director of the RAD program.
Okay, Representative Hernandez.
Has there been any research or backing to whether or not people have actually whether or not people use techniques in these classes when actually being attacked?
Sorry?
Is there any report or research or backing to prove that people have actually used these techniques while being attacked?
Well, considering we don't offer it and our environment is different than a lot of universities, we have had numerous incidents of students being accosted, whether on campus or elsewhere within the vicinity. There are a number of other institutions which do offer courses, however, we do not, and personally, I would say this is far more useful than racquetball.
Okay. If there are no more points, is there a speaker in the con? Seeing none, we'll move to discussion on the resolution. Representative Lupton.
I move to amend whereas clause 3 to take out the letter A.
Friendly.
Representative Teshlu.
Move to amend also whereas 3, applicable to students, not for students.
Friendly.
Friendly.
Vice President Hassanali.
Just to address the comment earlier, this idea has been in discussion with the athletics department since the beginning of last summer. It was due to personal changes within the security department that we were unable to do it. And the reason why security is listed in addition to the athletics department is because they're the ones currently who have a course that we can kind of base it off of. And we have been in discussion with them to try and develop a co-ed curriculum to put it. The reason for this resolution is for institutional memory and to kind of make sure that this discussion continues to happen going forward, and to recognize that this is something important, and the university should try and put funding towards this type of course. So it has been in discussion for over a year now.
Okay. Representative Petition.
Point of information, when I spoke to Karen Greger, as I said, there's a female grad program available. They are sending officers, I believe, this coming autumn for the male version of the grad program.
Okay. Vice President Douglas.
I'd move to amend to add to point 4 to add Pat Kennedy, Director of Physical Education.
Is that friendly? Okay, any more points for discussion? Representative Hammond.
I move to give discussion.
Is there a second? Okay, if there's no dissent, we'll vote on the resolution. All those in favor of the resolution are 18-18, please raise your hand. All those opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the resolution passes. Is there any other new business? Representative Moore.
Move to introduce General Assembly Resolution R 18-17.
Second.
All right, is there a speaker in the pro?
Okay, I wanted to introduce this last because I wanted this to be the final point of business that this General Assembly addresses this year. As you can see on the screen up there, this is the 2005 master plan of Case Western Reserve University. The center of that plan, and the most important component of that plan, is the campus center, which is right in the center of the map. That was 2005, this is 2009. We still haven't seen any movement on it. The University Center, also known as the Campus Center or Student Center here at Case Western Reserve, has been a project that I've worked on and I put my heart and soul into for the past 4 years at this university. And coming out at I started in the beginning of my 4 years here as a freshman, and now coming out as a senior and not seeing this project completed or anywhere near completed, I want to do everything that I can to push this project along, because I firmly believe that this will improve student life here at Case Western Reserve University, and this will do everything most of the things that USG has sought to do over the past several years, of integrating students from across the university, integrating undergraduates and graduate students, as well as bringing in individuals from outside the university and the community, and allowing students to interact with those folks. And also providing student organizations with more space, with their own dedicated space, with each of the SEC organizations their own space to conduct their own business, with programmable space, with new food courts. Basically, I want this building to be the heart of campus that we always have hoped for in Twink Center, but Twink Center has not been able to provide. There's a pretty long list of whereas clauses here. I hope you see that myself and Speaker Pinder have put a lot into this. I've certainly, as I said, worked a lot on this and have a lot of passion behind this project. Basically, what we're asking for out of this is to keep us informed, start the ball rolling again, and to build upon past success and the past progress of past committees. The first time that this campus center showed up in any planning document was in 1988 in the University Master Plan, and it's now over 20 years later and it still hasn't been created. But each of us here knows just how important
having this center would be to Case Western Reserve University. Open to points.
Representative Downey.
Like you said, this has been, going on for a while. What do you think giving this to them, this resolution is gonna do to actually help that?
I think that having something in your hands as president of the university, or as provost of the university, or as vice president for student affairs, that says that students are committed and that students really want this center and see a need for having this center, and that in the whereas clauses it says that this should be one of the top priorities of the university, and this is something that we really need to move forward towards. Also, putting this in the hands of university development. As you know, this is not something that's going to be cheap. It's not going to be something that we're going to be able to raise money for overnight. It's a $40 million project. We're more or less halfway there. The stage that we're at right now is that we don't have the money, and we're not in the phase of doing the big capital campaign that we need to build this center. So we're also asking the development pick up their efforts and really make this a top priority, and to push this more than anything else.
Vice President Douglas.
I guess my concern is just that from what I understand about the project, it's held up chiefly by funding right now, and so saying that we as students, I know that we've acknowledged this is a key problem, and maybe I'm expecting this to do more than it should. It's just saying you need to do this, and the university is trying, and they're doing everything that they can without passing a resolution saying you need to start the capital campaign now.
We're not saying start the capital campaign now. We're saying that development needs to make this a priority in the capital campaign. And where we are right now is we're debating which way to go about this. We're debating whether or not we should wait for the funds to just come in, or wait or go out and actively pursue those funds. And we're in the wait and let these funds come in department right now. And I disagree with that.
Okay, any more points? All right, is there a speaker in the con?
Thank you.
Okay, seeing no, we'll move into discussion on the resolution. Vice President Douglas.
I move to amend the final whereas clause on the first page to will have graduated by May of 2010. Does that say this?
Friendly? Is it friendly?
Is it friendly?
Yes.
Vice President Hofer.
Motion to amend, and be it resolved, to change the points from 1 to 5 instead of 5 to 10. 6 to 10.
Friendly. President English.
Move to amend point to move Glenn Nichols up to D, and move everything else down accordingly, and to add Don Kamalski on the bottom of that list.
Representative Wynn.
I move to amend the 16th whereas clause to italicize forward thinking.
Second.
Friendly. Any more points for discussion? Vice President Osnali.
I move to previous question.
Second.
If there is no dissent, we will vote on the resolution as amended. All those in favor of resolution R 18-17, please raise your hand. All those opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the resolution passes. If there is no new business, we'll move into the exec retreat budget, which I'll go ahead and speak about from the podium. Okay, guys, I know it's late, but basically the exec The old exec board and the new exec board is going to meet the second week in May 10th through 13th, so we can transition the new officers and start planning for next year. The dining halls are closed, so that's why there is line items for dinners, lunch, and breakfast. And we will be most likely eating out most of those times. And it is 16 people if you count the old exec board of 8 members and the new exec board of 8 members. So that's why things are a little on the high end. But this is just basically to give you a forum for input. If you think I should change anything or add any other line items, I would like to hear what you think. Representative Hammond.
I would just like to know why one of the most expensive items on this list is paying for a senior week event for the executive committee to attend.
Yeah, basically there's usually a fun event on the first day, and it's usually bowling, but a lot of the exec members are going to be going on senior week. So it's about $22 per person, and I budgeted that 6 members would already have paid for their senior week tickets. So just basically so that everybody can go. I really don't think that's that big of an issue, but if anyone else thinks so, then let me know. Yeah.
So why do the 6 people that have already paid for the senior tickets, why do they not get reimbursed and the other people get to go for free?
I mean, if you think that's necessary, it's part of the senior package. They're paying for all the other events. There's about 10 events during senior week, so. Representative Moore?
Just to kind of comment on that, the senior package is like already severely discounted as to the actual price per event, so.
I mean, I understand that, I don't know, I'm concerned about that being in the budget. But.
Representative Butler?
Well, maybe you could comment on what has previously, like you said, bowling. Maybe you could comment on how much that usually was, just kind of a basis.
Yeah, it's about $150, so.
So about $70 over budget.
Yeah.
Which isn't extremely.
No. Vice President Patrick?
I'd like to add, this $1355 is well below the $2,000 that was budgeted for it. This is not the lowest that the exec retreat has ever been, at least within the recent past 5 or 6 years. And there were 5 or 6 years ago, the exec retreat was many multiples of this figure. So the income of the exec, I think, is to be commended for being fairly frugal, considering that we're paying for about 16 people who are staying here for 4 more days. When you put the figure in that perspective, this isn't a lot of money. And also considering that at every event that administrators are at, we're buying lunch for them. So keep that in mind.
Any other points? All right, thanks for the input, guys. I'll just say we'll move into our advisor's report. No. It's just
Yeah, it's the last meeting, so I thought I'd use the podium. So Thursday, a lot of the VPs and Miles are going to say a lot of really nice things about you guys, but I don't normally talk, which is really nice. So I get to talk now. And there's just so much I cannot express. There are really no words for me to say thank you to all of you for this year. For every standing committee you attended and you advocated for a student, for every open forum that you brought an issue to the table, for every vote you cast on bills and referendums, thank you. Thank you for an outstanding year. It's truly humbling to know what you accomplished this year. And I really know that most of the people out there don't know what you do. So I just want you to know that there's a huge group of us that do. And I want to thank you for that. I want to thank Bruce for doing an awesome job of hosting us at Relay. Thank you. That was a lot of work. I want to say congrats to Keith Lupton for his recipient. He's the recipient of the Outstanding USG Award this year. So congratulations.
This is always a really hard meeting for me because it's the last of the year, and some of you will not be returning. I'd like all of our graduating seniors to stand and be acknowledged, please. Best of luck to all of you. I truly commend you for the career you've given to USG, and I know that you've worked very hard. To exec, I want to say thank you for, I don't even know how to say thank you, just thank you. You're all an amazing group of people. You've done amazing work, and it's been very, very humbling for me to work with you this year, even when I've slipped and let things forgotten, and somebody's always picked up the ball, so thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And finally, Miles, you know, I have watched you truly strengthen every skill set you ever brought to the table. And I know it's very difficult to believe, but you are graduating as an outstanding representative to the students. So for everything you've done for this student body and for this school, thank you. Thank you.
Now I'm gonna cry. Man, okay. Before we move into announcements, let me go into the election results. Our new secretary for the 2009-2010 year is Megha Patel. Our new treasurer is Jaisal Shah. And Lee is the new election commissioner. Sorry. All right. The final time. Is there any more announcements? Vice President Douglas.
What is the Spring Fest sheet?
Vice President Petrick.
If you ever decide to walk 60 miles in one direction around the track, so you can walk 60 miles, but you should reverse directions so you don't find the tendons on the top of your lead foot.
Okay. Representative Nguyen.
If I could have a couple people help me move tables downstairs for the reception, that'd be great. I can't do it by myself, unfortunately.
Parliamentarian Gardner.
Anyone, I'm just going to be the one to say this because no one else is probably going to. Anyone who wants to be on the Fall Election Commission should probably tell Leah pretty fast if they want to do it. I'm sure she's got all summer to decide, but she's also going to have to start getting work. Usually we would have confirmed everyone at this meeting, but we were behind 2 weeks or a week or something, so.
Colleen.
If you are a rising second-year student, please consider attending the Second Year Institute in right before school starts next year. It's an amazing program. I cannot say enough. My office is involved, but that's not what makes it amazing. It is an amazing program. And also, I know that finals are coming up, and because it's the last meeting, I will be sending out now the exit kind of survey on your assessment. Remember the assessment you did in the fall? And I will send out an email, explain this once again. In between finals, when you want to just chill over, you know, something, take 10 minutes. It's not a difficult instrument. It just models the first one you did in the fall. And what you're looking for are growth patterns in some of your skill sets. So if you can do this, I promise the report will be good for you to use when you're interviewing. You're able to demonstrate, strengths in new skill sets, et cetera. Thank you.
President Nicholas.
I just wanted to say thank you and put up this picture. I just wanted to say thank you for doing exactly what it says up there. You put students first this year, and I couldn't have asked for a better group of people to go out with my senior year. So thank you very much. If you guys would just stay for 1 extra minute, we'll do a nice big goofy photo so that I can keep it somewhere just to remember. But if you guys could just run up to the front up here as soon as GA is over, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Vice President Petrick.
Just remind the Finance Committee, it's not of our official duties, but we have Tasty Treats tomorrow. Not tomorrow, wow, it's not Thursday. On Friday at 12:30, and planning all the things we want to tackle for next year. That's the first thing. Second thing, I'd like to thank Colleen. She has been a wonderful
I second that motion. I know.
Repository of amazing amounts of institutional knowledge and a source of wisdom for everyone here. Those of you sticking around next year, utilize it as much as you can.
All right. Okay. Representative Hammond. Wait. For the last time.
For the last time, I move to adjourn.
Adjourn. Marissa, Morgan, and Max Weber do not leave.